Have the quality in Harley Davidson motorcycles really gone down over the past several years? Or are they just adapting to the behaviors of their customers? That's what we're going to talk about today. What's up? Jim here. Welcome back to J Street Moto. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time. So a couple of weeks ago, I dropped a video talking about the stuff that, and it's a short list, but the things that I don't like about my new 2024 Road Glide. And some of the comments that I got back got me to thinking, does Harley really have a quality problem? Are they producing an inferior product relative to former generations of their motorcycles? Are they struggling with a sense of their own identity? Or have they just gotten smart about their customer base and they figure, what the hell? Why not just give them a blank slate because I know they're going to change everything anyway? Harley Davidson is dealing with a challenge in the marketplace. They're trying to balance their identity with three main categories, I'll call it. And two of those categories are kind of out of their control. One of them is environmental standards. Can Harley have a bike roll off the assembly line with a much better sounding exhaust and not sounding like a sewing machine? They can, but they most likely will not pass the environmental safeguard stuff that they have to get through. Can they have a different tune on the motorcycle? Probably. Again, they're going to be dealing with environmental standards and that kind of shit. So they're limited by that. The other category I would say Harley's limited by is safety. If you have topped your motorcycle out, meaning you've gone to the point where you're still pulling the throttle back, but the bike's not going any faster. The reason your bike is limited on a top speed, it's because if you check the speed rating on the motorcycle tires that come stock on your bike, in the U.S., you'll find that they aren't rated. I think their rating ends at like 115, 120 miles an hour. They're not rated for speeds above that. Will the bike go faster than that? Absolutely. I'm not recommending you speed, by the way. I'm not even admitting that I do it. You can go faster on these motorcycles than the speed limiter will allow you to go. The governor on the bike will allow you to go. It is set at that level, though, because of the speed rating on the tire. And they cannot put out a motorcycle that will exceed the speed rating on the tire. Safety. And really, it's a fine line between safety and corporate liability. I mean, really, yeah, do they want us to be safe? Sure, they want us to be safe. Are they also wanting to cover their own ass so that, you know, if they did let one go that would do 140 miles an hour off the showroom or on tires that can only handle 115 and the dude dies, do they want to be protected if the family comes back and tries to sue them? Of course they do. Why wouldn't they be? But I think their heart is in the right place and really what they're digging for is safety. Question then becomes is why not put a better tire on your bike when you ship it out? Which takes me into the third category that they are trying to please, all the while maintaining their identity and putting out a better bike than the last time. It's us, guys, and this is the only one really that they can know in advance, that they can use data and analytics to kind of figure out. It's us. I would be willing to bet that 85 to 90% or the folks that buy brand new motorcycles from Harley Davidson change the exhaust, either a full exhaust or anything from a full exhaust to slip-on. I think that somewhere between, let's call it 75 and 80%, do the air intake as well. So we'll call it a stage one. That's 75 to 80% have done a stage one. They've done an exhaust and an intake. I think you probably can go down to like 65 to 70% have done all that. They do a cam, they get an aftermarket tuner at a minimum, change the tires to a different kind of tire than what comes on them when they're stock, change handlebars, do that kind of stuff to customize them. So more than, and then, you know, you got, the number probably drops off to like, I'd say 35, between 30 and 40%, go all the way, you know, and that might be high, it might be lower than that, but do a complete some kind of engine build, whether it's a big bore kit or they change out their transmission to a grudge box, change out their clutch. They do some other kind of major modification to the motor to get increased performance. Hell, this is so popular, an entire industry has been created because of this. Think about that for a minute. Ration Supply, Hewlett, S&S, the list goes on. Hell, throw saddles in there. You got Saddlemen, you got LaPera. An entire industry has been created because folks significantly modify these motorcycles. Clockworks for windshields. And Harley knows we're going to do it. So why would they come help? They kind of already have. Here's the question for you. And I want you to be honest with yourself. Whether you fall into this category or whether you know someone that falls into this category, I want you to be honest with yourself. How many people do you know that have purchased a CVO and made some kind of modification to it? That's the motorcycle that Harley sells you pre-customized to what they think most people would want to do to their bike. So they've already tried to guess with the CVO. They slap a huge fucking price tag on it because the money goes into it. The reality is that it's not uncommon for someone to go and drop $25,000, $30,000 on a motorcycle and then turn around and put another 10 to 15 in it. And if you're doing that, you've already hit the price of the CVO by the time you've done that. The only thing you didn't do was, get the special paint that comes on those packages, right? I mean, am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm right about this. That's what Harley says or thinks that we as consumers want. So do I fault them for going a little cheaper with parts on their stock motorcycles? Not really. I don't. I mean, worst case scenario, if the part's that damn cheap, it'll break within my warranty period. I don't have to worry about it. Can I fault Harley? Can I say, you know what, you should have put a different cam in this motorcycle? I don't think I can. They put in there what's the best for what they are trying to achieve. What they are trying to achieve is provide a reliable motorcycle that performs on the upper end of the spectrum for the class of motorcycle that it is, with the features and functionality that almost everybody wants in a bike. And they give it to us as a blank canvas so that we can then make it our own. That's part of the allure. I would argue the ability to customize your motorcycle is one of the things that is most attractive about Harley Davidson to begin with, because you can do so much to them. I can go park in a parking lot full of vivid black road glides that are 2024s, and I won't see another one that is exactly like mine. Mine is a little different than every other 24 road glide that's out there. Now, I might not be able to tell it visually. Sometimes it's a visual difference. Sometimes it's a mechanical difference, but it will be different. That is, in my opinion, that's part of Harley's identity. It's a core part of Harley's identity. And I think they've remained true to that. So can I fault them because they don't put the best cam possible in this? No, because they've got to meet EPA standard. And quite frankly, unless they do something with the tires, as mentioned earlier, there's no reason to put a cam in there that'll let me get another 10 miles an hour out of the motor. Because until I change the shoes, doesn't matter if the bike will go that fast or not. It's not safe for me to get it that fast, even if I'm in a place where I can't ride it that fast. They don't want to track. I don't think Harley's lost their identity, and I can't really fault them for that. I think, to a great extent, we are the reason. I'm in a lot of forums on social media. If I had $1 for every time I've seen someone post these questions that I'm going to write a list, I could have bought a second road glide. Could have bought a second one with cash. Which exhaust sounds best on these bikes? Which cam is the better one? How tall can I go up on the bars without having to extend my cabling for the clutch and brake and my, any electrical wiring? Which windshield do you guys like best? What oil do you use when you change your oil? How much horsepower should I get if I go between this exhaust manifold and this one? Which air intake is the best one? Which seat's the most comfortable? Just because I see all those questions, because I see the sheer volume of them, I know that a high percentage of people are doing this, and this. And if I was Harley, why would I put the best air intake on there? Hell no. I'm going to do what Harley's done. I'm going to produce my own aftermarket product line. Hopefully it's attractive enough aesthetically and it performs well enough that people want to buy it and put it on their motorcycle. If not, they're going to go to an aftermarket seller. And the aftermarket stuff usually is going to perform better. I think it looks better, honestly. Most of the people that buy Harley-specific stuff do it because they are very brand-specific to Harley. They're like, oh, well, I have a Harley. They for sure know what's best for my motorcycle. So I'm going to go with their cam. I'm not going to look at other cams. I'm just going to stick with that. You got there is a group of people that do that. But those same people, guess what? They're still buying parts and modifying their motorcycle. And Harley, it's a secondary revenue stream for them. I mean, seriously. So can I fault them? I don't think I can. Well, look at the Night's to Rest. They got rid of the Sportster, typical Harley, and they got rid of it for the Night's to Rest. A lot of us are getting old, guys, and the younger kids, number one, 22-year-old coming out of college, he ain't going to be able to. I don't think he's dropping $30,000 on a motorcycle. Even if he likes Harley, I don't think he's dropping it on it. Would he buy a used one? Maybe. You know, I don't know. I know that Harley knows the demographics of the people buying their motorcycles. And it's not the younger kids that are going in there and buying these things. So they had to have something that appealed to that younger generation. The Nightster S does that. And I will say this, it's a fun freaking bike. I rode one when I was in Hungary. It was a wonderful bike. I love the damn thing. I really do. It's one of the most fun Harley Davidsons I've ridden for what it's, you know, it's purpose built. For what it's meant for, it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it better than the Sportster that I used to have. It was a very fun motorcycle to ride. The Pan America, to break out into the adventure touring side of the house, because younger kids are doing that. The electric bike, the live wire, that was a little bit of a miss on Harley's part. Probably a big miss on Harley's part. But I mean, I don't blame Harley for that either. They're trying to predict what's going to happen in an unstable and uncertain world. Does it mean that they've lost their identity? I would argue the exact opposite. I would say that over the years, Harley has gotten more true to their identity than they were a decade ago or more. If you disagree with me, hell, drop it in the comments. So yeah, that's it. That's all I had today. Thank you guys for sticking around. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, click notification bell, share it with your friends. All that stuff's free to you and it helps the channel. Always ride safe.
Yeah, ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Ah. Asshole.
Really? Peace out, bitches!